Joining us to look at that particular matter, the Treasury single account, is Senator Dino Melaye. Good morning and thanks for joining us. Loads of Nigerians would like some form of clarification here on that, and perhaps yesterday was Tuesday the 15th, and oh, is it today? Yeah, yesterday. So tell us how it went.
Anyway, basically, I want to say that when I raised this motion on the floor of the Senate, I got a lot of insults on social media everywhere that I was blabbing and that there's no truth in the content of my presentation. But I remembered I tweeted and I told Nigerians that truth has no color and that every lie is got an expiry date. And I want to thank God that I've been vindicated by the public hearing where my revelations on the floor of the Senate have actually given room for confession even by the central bank governor. And unfortunately, and as I speak to you, about 8 billion naira has been refunded back to the Treasury of government. And I know more monies will still be refunded. And it's obvious now that there's a lot of controversy and illegality and corruption that shrouded the whole exercise.
That was very quick. Tell us what exactly you found out, because the Treasury single account policy is just new, and if you look at it from May 29 till this very moment, it's not even up to a year. How did you get an insight into what was going on? Because the CBN governor did say, speaking personally, he wasn't aware until the red flag was raised by specifically you.
I will want to say that the TSA is a very, very laudable program and it's going to help in blocking leakages, and I support it. And my prayer on the day I move the motion is actually to commend Mr. President for the implementation of TSA. But I was challenging that the instrumentality of the TSA is being used by some individuals to undercut Nigerians and our national patrimony. And I'm a private investigator, and if you follow my trend, I'm an anti-corruption person, and I take delight in investigating and finding out leakages and corruption in our system in a way to build a new Nigeria of our dream. And this is just one, and by the grace of God, I have many more motions that will be mind-blowing.
Well, Senator, some people disagreed because we all recall that you moved the motion on that day that has led the Senate to constitute a panel that is now looking into the matters of the TSA and as it involves system specs and the CBN. Well, some people argue that the grounds upon which you raised some of the allegations on the floor of the Senate were faulty. What do you have to say to that?
I do not want to, I will not concur with that. Like I said, there's been a lot of malicious insinuations, maligning my character, and that I was just rabble-rousing and all that. But like I said, I'm now vindicated. When, as a legislator, what we do by motions is like whistle blowing. And when you blow your whistle, you may not even get 100% of what you've presented, but at least it will be a lead to I do not have the capability, or powers to individually investigate any government institution. But by presenting primary facts to the Senate will constitute a body that is relevant to that MDA, and a proper investigation will be carried, and the powers of the Senate to summon individuals will be exercised. And that is what has happened now. And like I told you, monies have been recovered already, and that transaction had been stopped. And as I speak to you, investigation is ongoing.
Without prejudice to the investigation that is going on, you know, I want to bring some of the grounds that you raised. You talked about 2.5 trillion naira being recovered as at September, and this company making about 25 billion naira from it. The Senate, beg your pardon, the CBN governor revealed that as of December this year, the figure that we have in the Treasury was not even up to 2.5 trillion that has been collected. So how is it possible that this company made 25 billion naira.
Like I said earlier, what I gave is a lead, and because it will be prejudicial for me to comment on these issues, that day I was physically there during the public hearing, and there were three different figures between the Accountant General of the Federation and the CBN, conflicting figures, and that was even raised on the floor, and it will be very, very prejudicial now for me to begin to comment, because the resolution of the committee will still come to the Senate plenary for adoption, and I will not want to preempt their findings. But I want to tell you that whatever I have presented to the Senate is as a result of my personal research, and the most important thing is that I was not just blabbing as being accused, and this has actually led to, the Accountant General of the Federation actually outrightly said that there is no agreement of 1%, and I'm sure you have that record. The man also told Nigerians that remitter is yet to be, system spec is yet to be engaged, even for the transaction that is ongoing. And as I speak to you, the whole exercise has been, and the old payment has been stopped. And money, billions of naira already back to government coffers. So my advice is that because the matter is ongoing and I'm a member of the Senate, I will not want to dwell on it for.
Senator, when you began your conversation, Senator Melaye, if I may come in here, when you began your conversation, you said here that you're actually pleased with the TSA account, with the TSA and the way it's, the fact that the federal government decided to adopt the TSA.
Very well so. Very well so.
So what was your concern? Was your concern the fact that monies were being recouped?
The title of my motion is the misuse and misapplication of the TSA regime. So it's not as if I was against TSA. No, it's a very, very laudable program. It's a very productive one. It will help to block leakages. It will, in compliance with Section 80 of the Constitution, every money will go to the consolidated revenue of the revenue account of the federal government. And I even commended Mr. President for having the temerity and the zeal to kickstart.
Okay, if you are so pleased,
what I am against is the illegality involved and the misapplication of the instrument.
Now that instrument was adopted because it was going to help facilitate the mopping up of the government revenue into the single treasury account. But now that you say that process has been stopped, what's being used to gather the money?
What we're saying is that the 1% payment to the platform being used, the remitter platform being used, have been stopped until investigations are concluded and resolutions taken.
But how does it work?
Not that TSA has been stopped, no. TSA is ongoing, but we are saying that the payments to the platform being used.
Is the platform still in use?
I believe so.
How would the platform still be in use and the people that own the platform are not being paid? That means they are working without pay.
I will not take Panadol for another man's headache.